brothers jump her daddy after school. I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you. But we kept asking you to stop my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right.
All right, man. Yeah, you seen the video of the father basically saying how he handled the situation with his bully, 7-year-old daughter. That's right around what first, second grade. It's been making the rounds. I usually would address this on Patreon, so check out the Patreon. So keep it as friendly as possible. Links in the description. The free game side of the Patreon, I speak on these type of things, man. But that's just modern thinking, and to me, that's something that a female would do. You know, emotional, fight fire with fire, but you're gonna do what you got to do to protect your kids. Now I know some people a little bit more diabolical. They would pay some kids in the neighborhood to just get the job done, right? And you know, Terrence Crawford's mother used to pay the kids in the neighborhood to whoop on him, and could none of them beat him. You know, when your mom is against you, that's crazy. You know, a lot of people say that's terrible parenting. And what's so funny is, my mother told me that my grandmother didn't believe in beating kids because it made them hard. Like as far as their souls and all that type stuff. She didn't get that message with me, but it is what it is. But I think when you're dealing with boys, it's a little bit different. So obviously, like he said, she was too young to receive those consequences. So he did what a father do. And, you know, the father being there and being active, you know, we as black men, we get a bad rap for that. But, you know, even most of the guys I know guys that sell dope. I know guys that rob people in the streets. And I ain't saying that to glorify it. You know, even the guy on my street growing up that sold crack, and he would sell the crack to the drug dealers because they didn't know how to cook it. And they would try to get him and give him money to teach him how to cook crack. But why would he do that? He'd be cutting his money out. It had to be a large sum of money for him to show them the trade or whatever. It's crazy, right? Even him, he took care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? You know, had a neighbor across the street, took care of all his kids. Some of them had a learning disability. I did a video. I don't know if I did the video. It was a video I did the other day, man. Yesterday, man. I can't remember what video it was. But I was talking about how one of his sons tried out for, it's the Austin Rivers video. Y'all won't see that till probably Wednesday. And I talked about how one of his sons quit football and how everybody can't really built to play football. And how his other son was a little loopy and he ended up like lashing out in the boxing match and chewing his gloves off and beating the opponent up between rounds. But nonetheless, man, I just think the way modern parents handle stuff, man, just even going back to how I was raised, a lot of our parents wanted to give us what they didn't have, and that messed us all up. You know what I'm saying? You know, give us. That's the key word. Give us what they didn't have. You didn't earn it. You know, my father and them was growing up, they had to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my granddaddy, like, if he had to get out, and I remember my uncle was telling me a story, that they had to wake up and, you know, they had to shovel the street, not the sidewalk, the street, for about a quarter mile so he can get off the street to the main road so he wouldn't get stuck to go to work. He ended up not even having to go to work because of the snow day. But all four of the boys had to get out there and shovel a path about a quarter mile, somewhere close to that. I won't say quarter, maybe about 0.10, 0.12, 0.15, and shovel. They had to earn their keep. They had to do yard work and all that stuff before they went out and played and stuff. And we you know, parents today, even when I was growing up, they wanted to give us what they didn't have, and that's the problem. We didn't have to earn it. Even when I remember I got suspended on my birthday. Hater got me suspended or whatever, right? My mom ended up marrying, somebody else, and his son was cool with the boy. He was jealous ass nigga. But ended up figuring out why he was jealous, because he didn't know who his daddy was. That's why he was all messed up. And like, he was grown. I don't know, it's probably about 10 years ago. He figured out who his daddy was, and they finally told him and messed him up. Boy, I wish I could have been there to see the misery on his face. Yeah, that's fucked up, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. But yeah, that's kind of messed up though. But that's crazy. They waited all them years, and they had to go to Ohio, and he found out who his daddy was. Yeah, I wouldn't want to wish that on nobody, but I would have been there like to see his face. But nonetheless, man, you know, you go through these things and stuff of that nature, man. You know, I still got rewarded with a birthday dinner, even though I got in trouble in school. So we always wanted to give our kids something that we didn't have. Remember D.L. Hughley said I never had a Christmas, so I was always in trouble. Look at the guy he became. You know, do I think his actions was right? I'm not a parent, so I can't put myself in that position. You know, but they kept bullying your daughter. I mean, you know, somebody might say, well, just switch our schools and all that. Who knows? What's the school district? Is it, can he go anywhere in the school year? You know, then you be teaching your daughter to run away from her problems. Another side story. When I was in middle school, I had just transferred to another school from private school, because I flunked out of private school. That's exactly what happened. It was a terrible year that year. You know, that's the most I was out of control, whatever. So I switched schools, whatever. So, you know, it was what it was. You know, it wasn't a public school, but it was close enough. Going to that school was close enough. So we shared a locker room with the seventh graders or whatever, right? So we all in the locker room. So they thought they was gonna pick on them. I'm like, man, hell no. So we used to fight with them every day in the locker room. Coaches didn't used to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? The teachers didn't do nothing. One of them a principal now. I see him when we lifting weights, whatever. And you know, so we fighting, whatever. You know, and one of the dudes had his mama. His name was Javon. I can't remember his last name. He had his mama transfer him out to school because he was scared. Come on, man. You think he built any resolve or any? Like, we fought. You know, I was a cow. Like, man, you know, they think shit's sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, at that point, I was the most out of control. We'll be talking, and I'll punch you. It's just what it was, bro. It's just what it was. I ain't doing no talking, dog. I told you I fought a nigga one leg at that school. I fought a whole school bus at that school. Like, that was the point that I was the most out of control. But I say that to say this about Javon leaving the school or whatever. I forget his last name. Like, you think he grew up to be a solid dude? Absolutely not. When you challenge with a challenge, man, we can't run, bro. And sometimes you want to run, sometimes you want to hide, but you got to stand tall. So him transferring out to school, and even from a female, people say, oh, see, guys, no, you don't want your daughter, every time she faced with a challenge and you set the tone where you got to run. No, you don't want her, you know, growing up like that neither. So they kept talking. So really, the issue is at the point where, okay, why are the teachers not stepping in? Why they not giving her extra? He probably, if he wasn't so emotional about it, he probably could have got a lawsuit. You know, so he didn't hire no little girls to come up there or get our cousins to come up there and jump the girl, which I think a lot of y'all would have considered that. But you grew up where I grew up at. He didn't confront the little girl and put hands on the little girl or threaten her. You know, what he did was, he didn't go after the mama. He ain't go try to put that thing on the mama and try to, you know, put the mama on the tizzy tour, put her on the soul pole, pause. You know, no. He went out there and she had a daddy, 2 active fathers. Shout out to that. Y'all telling black men, I don't know if the little girl was black, but y'all talking about fathers in general. Don't be fathers. We deadbeats and all that shit, man. And 2 fathers active. A lot of people say, well, why you just couldn't shoot the fade with them one-on-one? Why you had to get your brothers to come jump him? My thing is this, you know, he said he had to set the example to let her know, like, you know, you gonna keep bullying my girl, the odds ain't gonna continue to be fair on you. You got your daddy jumped. And that's what it is. And you got to think about this too. When you raising daughters, you know, what about the white guy that came up to his daughter's school and fought the boys and the boys jumped his ass? white guy. I don't know how old the video was, right? You got daughters, you have to nip that in the bud. That bullying, that disrespect, them not keeping their hands to themselves, all that stuff, because, you know, men are gonna come, they not gonna, like, you know, what happened if you get into it with a girl? I got into it with a girl one time at a job, right? Like, talking crazy. Like, this girl got her friend to, like, gang up on me because I wouldn't give her a ride home. Like, what I look like you riding in my car home and my bitch in the car too? Like, she couldn't fathom that. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, she, you know, so next I told, we got into whatever. She was like, well, I'm gonna call my boyfriend up here and whatever. Do what he gotta do. So that's exactly that's type of daughter if you don't nip that problem in the bud, you're going to have. He probably think his daughter's so sweet and so nice. No, what's she gonna do? She gonna get into it with Tyrone one day. Well, I'm gonna call my daddy over here, and now you gonna be fighting, or you lose your freedom because your daughter, some random dude in the street. What women say? I'm gonna call my husband. I'm gonna call my daddy. I'm gonna call my brothers. It happened in the Travis Rudolph case. She was dead wrong, and she got some of her family members sent to the upper room. You know, this is a valuable lesson, because you have to raise these women to be feminine women. When they start raising their voice, they start bullying, being physical with people, and they grow up, you are going to get involved. You're going to put your daughter, your sons involved, her sisters involved, her cousins in danger. All of them going to be in danger. So this was a valuable lesson. He had to get jumped. I mean, I don't agree with it, man. I don't agree with it, but you know what? I mean, I probably would have took the lawsuit. Y'all sitting here letting my baby girl get emotionally traumatized, all that, and he set the tone. And you know, and right now, I bet you they nip that shit in the bud right now. Now it can get a little bit deeper than that. Dude can suit up and boot up and go get a gun since you jumped him, so it can get greasy. It can get real ugly with kids involved. But hopefully they reconcile this, and what he ended up figuring out is that if you don't nip this problem with the bud with your daughter doing stuff, you gonna put your life in danger again. And they jumped her daddy right in front of them. So basically what he taught her is a tough life lesson. Your actions got consequences. And I don't agree about how he did it, but at the end of the day, that's probably a lesson that needed to be learned, because if she get in a serious situation, all y'all lives could be on the chopping block, as a father, as a brother, as a mother, as a daughters, as her sisters, as her aunties, as her niece. I don't agree with what he did. Let me say that. I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't agree with that. But at the end of the day, you know, they're going on social media to talk about it is wild, because he could file assault charges, you go to jail. But he figured he had to do what he had to do. And his brothers, I don't know if they try to talk him out. Most brothers just like, fuck it, let's go. It's my niece. We ride. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. That's how dudes be. When it come to women involved, now if a dude say, yeah, they jumped me around the corner, you know, some niggas like, all right, bet, yeah. But, you know, a lot of people, you know, don't think with clarity. They get emotional and women involved, and hey, hold on, bro. It ain't another way we can solve this. He probably said, I tried this, that, and the third. Delivered the message, and they like, all right, bro. I don't agree with what he did, but if he's smart, he probably would have just did the lawsuit. But moving this kid from the school would have sent the wrong message. So let me know what y'all would have did and how y'all would have handled it. He said they met with the teachers, they sat down with the parents, and she didn't stop. And a lot of these new laws and, you know, viral, and everybody having phones, you can't discipline your kids like you used to. You know, it's a lot of, you know, kids that's not, you know, have any discipline that's just out here, man, and you know, so it's not discipline that's, you know, that don't have no fear. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop videos. Check out the real one-on-one playlist out for more videos like this. Peace.